London. There were 594 complaints of sexual abuse against Metropolitan Police employees between 2012 and 2018, 119 of which were upheld. The Observer says the list, which was obtained through a Freedom of Information request, includes claims that one officer had sex with a rape victim and another assaulted a domestic abuse survivor. The Met says it continues to take all allegations of this nature very seriously and will take appropriate actions to ensure accountability. 36 people have been arrested following protests in and around central London. Thousands of anti-lockdown demonstrators marched from Hyde Park to Westminster yesterday afternoon. The majority of arrests made were for breaching COVID regulations. The Met says a number of its officers were harmed and assaulted during the protests, with crowds throwing bottles and other missiles. Police investigating the fatal stabbing of Hussein Chowdhury in Walthamstow have charged a man with murder. Marvin Ward, who is 18 and from Ilford, has also been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder relating to relatives of Hussein, a man in his 20s and a woman in her 40s who sustained slash injuries during the incident. In addition, he was charged with robbery and possession of an offensive weapon. A man has been jailed for 5 years after police discovered a sawn-off shotgun and a pistol during a raid on his home in Westminster. Police raided Nick Miller's home in Sutherland Court and found a sawn-off shotgun, a self-loading pistol, ammunition rounds of various calibers and more than 60 shotgun cartridges. Efforts to vaccinate an area of North London which suffered one of the highest COVID infection rates in the world got underway this afternoon. 2/3 of the Jewish community in Stamford Hill tested positive for coronavirus, a rate which was 9 times higher than the national average. London Mayor Sadiq Khan was among those visiting the vaccination drive.
What we know, unfortunately, particularly during the first phase of the virus spreading, that a disproportionate number of the Orthodox Jewish community got the virus. A number of explanations that people have from the fact that we know many of this community live in overcrowded housing. Often the virus spreads further in those living in deprived communities. That's why it's really important, and now that we've got light in the tunnel with a vaccine, that we double our efforts to make sure those most at risk receive the vaccine.
The community is very within itself, and this made it feel safe for them. They knew that they would be vaccinated by people they love and trust, their own dedicated ambulance service. They knew that we would have as many Jewish staff here as we could. They knew that we were sympathetic to their needs.
London's first homeless accommodation, specifically for young people, has opened today in Hounslow. Due to the pandemic, many vulnerable young people who previously may have been sofa surfing or staying with friends have been forced onto the streets for the first time. In July to September last year, 18 to 25-year-olds made up 11% of rough sleepers in the capital, which is an all-time high. Now young people entering the hub can get access to shelter and specific services such as healthcare and counselling. Now, it may have been only his 16th professional fight, but boxer Lawrence Okolie has come a long way from the Hackney boxing gym he started training in.
The new WBO Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Lawrence "The Sauce" Okolie.
The 28-year-old knocked out his opponent Krzysztof Glowacki in the 6th round to claim the Cruiserweight world title. Now he's returned from the ring in Wembley to his family home in Hackney, the place he says shaped him into a world champion.
There was a lot of character building when I was growing up that helped, but then even in that, it's just the energy and the character in the area. You know, it's very vibrant. I live not too far from Dalston, and you know, there's a Afro-Caribbean sort of market, so you get a lot of energy and stuff. So I'm just able to bring that sort of charisma, hopefully, to what I do.
Let's have a look at the weather now. Here's James Wright.
Great Western Railway sponsors the ITV London weekend weather. There, good evening. Lots of sunshine around on offer, albeit not all the time, although I think we'll see a little more over the next couple of days. High pressure crossing northern parts of France. That's giving us this settled weather, although that does clear away and allow these Atlantic fronts to move through. Notice how, as they do, not a great deal of rain on them, so just bringing the odd outbreak and a fair bit of cloud from time to time. Talking of cloud, there has been a little bit around today. On the whole, that's going to melt away during the evening and overnight, allowing temperatures to drift down to about 3 to 5 or 6 Celsius. That is enough in one or two spots to see a touch of rural grass frost, maybe a little bit of mist developing too. Won't last too long tomorrow morning. We've got a westerly developing, so that's going to warm things up, help melt all of this back, and it looks as though for many of us it'll be a pretty decent spring Monday. Lots of sunshine and sunny spells to enjoy. And with that westerly, slightly milder source of air, so we're looking at highs of around 13 or 14 Celsius. Similar on Tuesday, cool start and still up towards the mid-teens temperature-wise. Lots of sunshine around ahead of those Atlantic fronts making their visit.
Great Western Railway sponsors the ITV London weekend weather.
And that's all from the London team for now. We're back in Good Morning Britain from all of us here. Enjoy your Sunday evening. Bye-bye.